Hello, and thank you for joining us for another Made in Texas interview. Today, we're joined by the director, editor, and co-writer of the short film, The Night We Met. We're on the night of Setsubun, the Japanese celebration to welcome spring and drive away evil spirits. A young boy and his father have a disturbing encounter at the local grocery store, blurring the lines between myth and reality. Fumiya, thank you so much for joining us today, all the way from Japan.
Well, thanks for having me in this interview. I'm happy to talk about my film and the process.
So, to begin, can you tell us a little bit about the inception of this project and how it came about?
I conceived the idea of this film in 2021. Like it was during the pandemic, and I was stuck in my apartment with my partner, and it was a hard time for everyone. But then a lot of like news came up about like, oh, the attacking an Asian people, attacking a Chinese community, attacking a Korean community, and I was deeply sad and I was deeply angry at the same time. How can I make a film about this situation and also like at the same time also integrate like my identity as a Japanese into the story? But then I met this Japanese family who lives in Texas, and then in my previous shorts, and he was at the time like he was like 9 or 10 years old. So I was like trying to incorporate like kind of his experience as an like trying to learn things in the US while trying to do what he's used to do in Japan. So that's kind of how the project came across.
Within the project, Setsubun is an important element. For our viewers who may not be familiar, can you tell us a little bit about Setsubun and what it is and maybe how it relates to your life?
So Setsubun is an really traditional event that takes place in February. And what people do is like the children throw beans towards this Japanese devil mask, and usually the adults wear this mask and like pretend to be like evil spirits. And it's supposed to be a really fun event. When I was small, I used to enjoy it with my dad. And after throwing the beans, like they celebrate with some like meals.
It looks like you guys shot this project on film. Is that right?
Yes, we shot this project entirely on a 60 millimeter film. I wanted this to be a little like nostalgic on my end. It's like kind of recreating a childhood memory. That was the first reason. The second reason, the story is kind of like blurs the boundary between the myth and the reality. So I wanted to blur that boundary. And when I talked to my DP, Carlos Estrada, who is great. He had a total control of this 60 millimeter film. And we were talking about like what will be the best format. I know the 60 millimeter is going to cost a lot, and we will have a limited amount of footage because we can't like roll. But at the same time, film can bring so much emotion, and then also film can create this vision that the audiences would wonder like if if this is the reality or it's like a boy's mind space. But then we kind of embraces like whatever constraints we will take advantage to make the film look better. So in that regard, the working with film was a really enjoyable, and also like I learned a lot of things from this shoot.
Yeah, I can only imagine. Well, so you are from Japan and you came here to Texas to study film and media production at the University of Texas at Austin. I was wondering if you could tell us what the experience of filmmaking in Texas is like compared to filmmaking in Japan.
In Texas, but also like specifically in Austin. And I think filmmaking in Austin was great. First, there is an environment that welcomes like independent filmmaking. That was the first thing that I really loved. There is a community that loves cinema, and they just try to help each other. I grew up in a kind of rural city in Japan, but I went to school in Tokyo, so I kind of know both like rural city and in the big city, and Austin kind of has like similar vibe. there is like a good environment, the natural environment, while there's a good city landscape. If you look at the Texas has also the big city like Dallas, Houston, those are big cities, but then there are so many like small cities as well. So you can kind of like think about the both landscape, like all the skyscrapers, but also there is a ranch, river, lake. So in that way, it was really like fun for me to think about like, oh, what kind of locations I could use for my film.
I love to hear that because, here at the Film Commission, we talk so often about one of the greatest resources we think that the state offers is this broad geographic diversity. This, you go to any corner of the state and it feels different. Can you tell our viewers where they can see The Night We Met and what you have coming up next?
So the night we met is still kind of going on the festival like circuit. So hopefully that it will. I don't think it has played in Austin yet. It's gonna play in Houston in June, in a Happy Fest. And as for the next project that I'm working on, I am developing a feature project that is set in Japan. I am kind of like I am visiting my mother's family town that is far from Tokyo. It's like a more on the west side of Japan. It's a really rural city. So although I came back to this side, I think I am kind of like seeking a landscape that has both like rural landscape and the city landscape. So I think Austin was a perfect place for me. And then after I left Austin, I still look for a kind of similar landscape.
There's nothing that makes us happier to hear than that somebody left Texas and immediately thinks, you know what, I think I got to get back to Texas. So I love it. It sounds really cool. We're really excited to see it, and we hope people get a chance to see The Night We Met the rest of this year because it's a really great project that we were really excited to watch. Fumiya, thank you so much. We really appreciate you taking the time today. And yeah, thank you.
Well, thanks for having me and thank you for the thoughtful questions.